So when it comes to finding a home to play some online poker in Canada, it can be a bit confusing. There are no restrictions to playing online poker in Canada because most of what's available is offshore where no one has any jurisdiction. And the good news is there are some options to use, but the one I would recommend from the get-go is Bodog. Now, Bodog has been around for over 20 years and built up a great brand reputation for taking care of their player base. And if you're looking for the best online poker site in Canada that allows real money games, I would recommend giving these guys a try. They provide some great software for playing both on your phone or PC if you choose to go mobile. And the game selection here is massive. They provide lots of different cash games, such as 6 and 9 person tables with limits as low as $1 all the way up to $2,000 plus. Just make sure you have a big bankroll for those high limit tables, guys. But, I've been a member here for a very long time. And for Canadian online poker players, this is a solid option to try out. The player traffic is very large as well, since they share player pools with the United States sites, Bovada and Ignition, which are basically just different skins. And next, I'd like to show you guys some of the software of the USA version, which is the same as Bodog's, of course. You could also learn more about Bodog, grab a poker bonus for getting started here, or simply get on our poker newsletter where we send out one email a week and updates by checking out some links below in the description. Don't forget to tap that like, and let's get into these hands.
Okay, this hand, I really liked how I played. So even though we had absolutely nothing, we had some runner possibilities, but when this guy checked it on the turn after, re-raising it, 3-betting it pre-flop and then betting it on the flop, he checked it over on the turn. So I definitely sensed a lot of weakness here. And I decided to bet close to $90 at this with absolutely nothing. And the only reason I did this was because I felt like he was weak. If you had a hand maybe like pocket tens, pocket jacks, this would be a tough call to make, because basically what I'm doing here is representing that I have an ace or a pretty big hand. Anyways, I got him to fold there with absolutely nothing, and I do like how I played that one because, I sense weakness, and that was kind of just a skill-based play. It could have gone either way, but I thought my bet sizing was good, and, we ended up taking it down with the jack-queen suited. All right, next I went an ace-deuce suited. This one I actually ended up hitting 2-pair, which was actually nice. I'm also going to say that I didn't play perfect in this one by any means, but, I still think I played pretty solid in this session. All right, so we hit bottom pair. I made the call here. All right, turn card was a 4, pretty safe card, and, we're still ahead of some over cards like ace queens, ace tens, ace jacks, those kind of things. Anyways, we ended up hitting the ace on the river. I decided to check this over. I just made the call. There was a 3 to a straight right there, but he just bluffed at it anyways, so it didn't even matter. So the way I played that hand actually worked out in my favor. All right, next time we had pocket threes. Set hunting on this one, $35 raise, 3-bet, I think, something like that. But I decided to make the call because we're up against 2 other players, and if we hit that 3, we could obviously make a ton of money with this. So, however, we missed it. Of course, the deuce popped off. We got an ace out there. Very likely one of these players could have an ace, so we're kind of just in like check fold mode at this point. Really hoping to get a free card. Okay, we did. Still didn't get it. Jack on the turn. Not what we were looking for. Kind of back to check fold mode here, which is kind of sad. Sad to see your pocket threes, get nothing. But that's how it goes sometimes. Just got to be patient. Now, I could promise the all-in situation you guys are going to be seeing here shortly was very ridiculous. Very ridiculous indeed. All right, so that guy took it down. I think he had a big hand anyways. Didn't matter. Tricky spot with the 5-6 suited. This was a frustrating hand for a couple of reasons. I'll be calling three bets with this all day. I'm going to be raising with this all day. But, it was one of those flops where you're not folding and you're just hoping to get some good cards on the turn. Because we do have the flushes, some runner straight cards, two pairs, three of a kind with the 5. But the queen is out there. So, you don't want to get too crazy. All right, so he's going to go with the continuation bet. I am going to make the call. Okay, he bet a decent size. He took the time to think about his bet. So, definitely possibly as a hand like king, queen, jack, queen. Turn card was a 7. But what was interesting was it gave us a flush draw, making it really hard to get away from this hand now. And I'm really just hoping he doesn't bet huge. Hoping to get a free card here. Okay, he kept it small enough to keep me in the hand, so it was a good bet by him. We missed on the river. Now, we are actually ahead of some missed flush draws. That's really the only thing I could be hoping for at this point, but he bet this like he had a pair. He checked it. He ended up having pocket 10s. It was very unfortunate right there for us, but it is what it is, Okay, so here is the hand of the session. And when you're dealing with a flush draw with low suited cards, it makes it even harder when you're dealing with all-in raises, large re-raises, and you're sitting with basically one of the lowest flushes you could have. But I put a ton of thought into this because we are going to end up getting it all in here. And, talk about a crazy flop, right? Because not only do we have the flush draw, but a 4 would give us a nut straight, and I decided to spice this up a little bit. I put in a little bit of a raise here just to see where this guy was at. Sometimes when you do this, somebody will end up either folding, they might just flat call you. If they re-raise you, they could have a big pocket pair, but we ended up hitting the flush. And not only that, we actually have a straight flush draw, which is, pretty spicy, I gotta say. So the 7 would give us that, but I was a little bit worried here because the board didn't pair, which is great. But when you make a play like this, you're basically saying two things: you've got a set or you have a flush. It just doesn't feel like this is a bluff. Why would you bluff your whole stack here? And I had to put the time clock on this because honestly, guys, this is a really, really tough one. A part of me was thinking about folding it, but I had to really think because, what are the odds of him having a flush when we're holding 2 diamonds? It's pretty low, so I just let the clock run on this, really thinking it through before making the call. I don't think I was ever folding here. It's an impossible fold. It's kind of like one of those spots, like if he's got you, he's got you, But yeah, I am going to end up making the call, and I think you guys are going to be absolutely shocked at this. I know I was. And yeah, like I said, we really let the clock run down here. And it's okay to do this. When you're dealing with a big hand, it's definitely okay. And yeah, he turned over ace jack. He went for the bluff. And I got to give him some credit. That took a lot of balls to make that all-in shove right there. But, like I said, I went through my thought process on that. And when it comes to playing flushes and flush draws, especially with like the low suited cards like that, I think sometimes it's a 50-50. And in that spot, I really, thought it through, and I just couldn't get away from it. And fortunately for us, we took that monster hand down and really put us in a good spot for this session, being up a buy-in, $500. On to the next hand here, we had a king queen. This guy was betting into me, and I was like, okay, like, what could you possibly have? Are you trying to say you have like pocket kings or pocket aces? I've got a king, so I don't know. Anyways, we ended up taking this down, and he kind of just bluffed at it anyways. So I was happy with that result. Feel free to comment below as well about that big hand we had if you want. But like I said, man, it was close. But I was really never folding there. It was an impossible fold for me. And it paid off. And this is the last hand, King Jack. We took down another little pot here, but went up about $700 for this session after playing for maybe an hour and 15 minutes. So definitely the result was good. It doesn't always work out like this, but you play, you try to improve, you take the wins, you take the losses, and it's just another day at the tables. You know what I'm saying, guys? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, if you're looking for some great poker sites, resources, or want to get under poker news that are sent out one email a week, check out those links below. Thanks for watching this, guys, and we'll see y'all in the next poker video.